A surprise appointment and now a surprise resignation.
The head of the shipping company, Young Brothers, announced this week he will withdraw from the state's Water Commission. It's a story first reported on civilbeat.com, and joining us now is editor John Temple with more on this story. And John, Young Brothers President Glenn Hong in the middle of a political firestorm. What's the story behind his resignation?
Well, it's a really kind of strange twist because it's taken the governor about a year to appoint somebody to this very important commission, and Glenn Hong was not on the list of candidates put forward by a group that is supposed to select people qualified, because you have to be expert to know how to be on this commission. You have to be expert in water resource management. And they quietly selected him in January. On Monday, he told us, yeah, I'm going to serve on it, but by Tuesday, after the environmental and Native Hawaiian community got very concerned, he had withdrawn, and the governor's office told us, oh, we're not aware of any uproar over the appointment. But Glenn Hong is gone, and they just tried to quietly slip it through, and it didn't happen.
And I know that you're still looking for answers in terms of why. Now, you also did some fact-checking, and I know you're doing it because of the political season. And you did a fact-check on former governor and candidate for a U.S. Senate, Linda Lingle, and she's saying in speeches that there's really no downside to suing in this country. And she's referring to the so-called American rule, which says if you sue someone and you lose, you don't have to pay anything. So you did a fact-check. Is it true?
Well, we did, and it's partly true. In Alaska, for example, that's absolutely not true. In federal court, there are provisions that would allow you to the losing party to be forced to pay. So it's not true. You know, what happens is people give extreme examples. She also said that there's no other country in the world that uses this rule called the American rule. Well, that's definitely not true, because Japan absolutely uses the same rule as the United States. So it's a stretch. What the governor said is a stretch.
Well, you also did another fact check on the Honolulu Rail project. Mayor Peter Carlisle says rail is going to take an estimated 40,000 vehicles off our roads each week in 2030. Is this true?
Well, it sounds like a lot of cars, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He left out one key word: vehicle trips, the word trips. The rail project will not mean a reduction of 40,000 cars on Oahu. It will mean that of about 3 million trips taken every day, there'll be 40,000 fewer. So it does mean that there'll be fewer cars on the road, but certainly not 40,000 fewer cars. So it's mostly true. Again, somewhat giving a false impression, because I think it's giving a sense of a greater impact than is really going to happen.
And certainly the rail is going to be a big issue in this upcoming mayoral race. John Temple of Civil Beat, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
And you can find the complete story that we just discussed on civilbeat.com.
That's right, at 6:37. We'll be right back.